if your daughter has an extra calculator on her phone, it's probably not being used for math. If there are things called vault apps, most of them are designed to look like a calculator. They will function just like a calculator. And if you put in the right sequence of numbers, what it does is it opens up a back door to a secret storage area within the device where they can store all those pictures and videos that they don't want their parents to see, or all the apps they don't want their parents to see.
Yeah.
And otherwise, it looks like a calculator and it functions like a calculator. But when you put in the right sequence, it's a vault that holds all their stuff that they don't want their parents to see. And that's how kids can get away with hiding these things from their parents, because they hide it in plain sight in the vault.
Yeah, I'm more tech savvy than my wife. So I know, like, I know what to look for. Even if it's I don't even worry about the apps. I look at the storage on the phone. I'm like, all right, the hard drive says it's, let's say she's got a 64 gig, and then I go do the breakdown and like, all right, this app's got this much space, this app's got this much space. Like, there is no reason, let's say this calculator app should have 3 gigs worth of data in it. That's nuts. There's my issue. So that's another investigative tool you parents can use on the House of Two Cops, One Donut. That's crazy though. I've heard about these apps, the Vault app stuff. I've heard about them, but like I said, I got so tired of trying to keep up, and my kid's not allowed to even download an app without it sending a permission to us.
Perfect.
And so I already know. I'll look at it, I'll research it, and I'm like, all right, let me see what this app's about. And I've got a few more investigative tools than just Google.
Right.
So I'm at an advantage. I fully admit that. I know I am, just being a cop. But parents aren't. Regular parents are not privy to this information. They are. They just got to look for it. And
right. And one of the things that I tell parents in the presentations that I put on is, educate yourself. And I give them access and information on certain websites that I recommend that have good information to make it kind of a one-stop shop. But educate yourself on some of the acronyms that kids are using and the text lingo that they use, because they could be saying things and you can read through their text, and if you don't understand what it is, and we've all seen the joke memes online that talk about the boomers that use acronyms incorrectly. But these kids are pretty inventive in the code that they use, and if parents aren't educated on that, they don't know what their kids are saying. Understand what emojis they're using and how they're using those emojis to say things that you wouldn't think about. I tell parents all the time, if your kids are sending messages that involve peaches and eggplants, they're not vegetarian. Okay. They're not talking about fruit salad and lasagna. You need to ask some questions, because that eggplant does not mean that they're looking for recipes.
Yeah. The eggplant's not sweating either.
No, that's, And so, that emoji of them sticking their tongue out is not them being rude exactly. But parents need to educate themselves on that and what these apps are capable of doing. Like I said, a lot of parents don't know about the For My Eyes Only section of Snapchat and how kids can be taking those pictures and saving them. And just looking at the amount of data that it's taking, or the amount of storage that it's taking, could still be hiding some things that kids don't want you to see, and you wouldn't necessarily pick up on it just on that. You may want to look at the messages too, if she is ever allowed to go on Snapchat.
Yeah. It's not the tool, but it is a tool. It's a good way, but there really isn't a one way for anything on these. What are some of the websites that they can check out that can help them? I personally don't know any.
So Smart Social is one that I push as kind of a one-stop shop. And there is an app for Smart Social that offers some different child safety services, typically at a fee. But if you just go to Smart Social, I believe it's .com, and look at their website, they have the top, I think it's the top 20 apps that parents need to know about, that if you see that on your kid, it's should raise some red flags. It should raise some warnings. If you're seeing apps like Bumble and Grinder and things like that on your kid's phone, you need to be concerned. It also has some of the common text lingo and acronyms. It also has a chart of some of the common emojis and how they're being used or misused. And so Smart Social is one that I recommend. Bark is another one, BARK. And Bark is all about not only helping parents be informed about child safety online, but also helping children be safe online. And to the point that Bark offers a smartphone that parents can buy that can be attached to most of the major providers, that allows them the ability to use some of the functionality of a normal smartphone, but with higher safety ratings than the average iPhone or Android phone, in being able to block out a lot of the harmful content and access to harmful apps.